What is going on, everybody? Anon here. I haven't done this in a while, but I want to go around the TCG universe, talk market news on the games that really matter, quite honestly, because there's a ton of shit going on. And quite honestly, most of it is positive. So we're going to fill the video with a little bit of positivity here. And let's get started with Pokemon. So those of you can shut it off 15 seconds in, and you can have a good night. Chaos Rising. Wave 2 is shipping now. ETBs, booster bundles, booster boxes. So these are holding up well. We're still sitting at what, $235. There's a lot of idiot YouTubers making videos about how some 22-year-old junior rep told somebody that the Pokemon company isn't making booster boxes anymore, and then everybody and their brother took the news and ran with it. It's completely made up. It's fiction. It's not true. It's just bullshit. But hey, that's just from a little bit better access than listening to some whistledick little junior rep at, with your little $3,000 percent account. But anyway, it just goes to show you how idiotic most people on YouTube are, because they hear something, then they run with it as gospel, and it's like, oh my god, they're never gonna print fucking booster boxes again. Well, in case you guys didn't see, we just saw a massive amount of pitch black booster boxes drop on Pokemon Center today. They're gonna print them. They're gonna print more. Chances are, maybe we see them for 30th anniversary. Maybe we don't. But what we do know, and I was listening to a video the other night. It showed up in my feed. Another. What about drama? I guess we'll call it YouTubers. Made a statement that the Pokemon company doesn't pay any attention to the open market. You're a fucking moron. The Pokemon company has economists on their payroll. They know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly where the prices are at any point in time. In fact, they are holding back Perfect Order booster boxes, not because they're not done, because, by the way, Perfect Order and Chaos Rising, all of the new sets, the regular standard sets, are printed in the same facility. Just so you guys realize that. They're holding them until at least the middle of July because they don't want to tank the price of the product. So any of these dumb motherfuckers on the internet that claim that Pokemon or Magic doesn't pay attention to the secondary market, you should probably just unfollow them because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. So that being said, we have Pitch Black coming out in a little bit over a month now, and it's going to be exciting. The set's going to be fun. We also have, I believe, next Friday, we have First Partner Series 2. Good luck getting it. It is about the same amount of supply as Series 1. It's going to be expensive. So let's move on to Magic the Gathering. So whether you like the game, whether you hate the game, the boxes are selling very, very well. When Final Fantasy came out last year, they went through this process where it was some fucking dog and pony show about how they're going to take pre-orders 6 months out, so you have the certainty that you're going to get the fucking product and you can pre-sell it, blah, 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 blah. Well, it was really just their attempt to figure out what the market for Final Fantasy really was. If you guys didn't pay attention, once Spider-Man came out and the market shit the bed, they just went away with that. They don't do any of that stuff anymore. In fact, they give you allocations and they cut distribution numbers like they did for Codex bundles, because in my opinion, they panic because their Q2 is going to be really, really freaking tight because they have a high bar with Final Fantasy. So they said, you know what? Fuck all the LGSs. Fuck all distributors. We're going to sell it directly through Amazon. We're going to maximize profit. And you know what? If we don't have enough, they can all go fuck themselves. They're addicted to Magic. They're going to come back. If it's not for Marvel, they're going to come back for The Hobbit. And you know what? They're 100% correct. So if you can't laugh a little bit and you're really, really pissed off at WotC, just find another game. They're going to be scumbags. It is what it is. You can listen to Chris Cox on his earnings call saying that we measure success in smiles and fun and all that bullshit. They measure success in how much fucking money they make. Don't give a shit who they fuck over. They're happy to screw everybody over and maximize profit for shareholders. It is what it is. So, back with Final Fantasy, They basically fell in shit and came out smelling like a rose because they grossly underestimated the amount of product or the amount of demand there was going to be for Final Fantasy. Now, they did stage a fairly sizable reprint of play boxes that they released in Q4, and that was because they had one less set in Q4. Again, this is just my opinion, and they needed the earnings and the revenue to hit their Wall Street estimates. What we're seeing now with these play boxes, and somebody told me today that somebody was soliciting for Tarkir Play Booster box reprint, which would be absolutely idiotic because it is the most garbage of garbage products. Literally, Spider-Man Play Boosters have more value than Tarkir at this point. I don't know if it's true or not. I didn't have a chance to call anybody. But it seems like they kind of got lucky again. And from a financial perspective, it's probably going to be a bloodbath in Q2 and Q3 for their bottom line. But for the rest of us who own this product, given the fact that there is most likely a shortage of print capacity, paper, whatever you want to call it, they're having logistic issues with their supposed ransomware, whatever you want to call it, they're not getting play boosters into the market to match demand. Now they have Avatar, they have Spider-Man, they don't even have Turtles. I can't order Turtles from distribution. Or let me rephrase that. I can't order a pallet of Turtles Play from the Wizards of the Coast warehouse. I can theoretically still order Aether Drift Play, Foundations Jumpstart, Avatar, Spider-Man, Assassin's Creed, still available at Wizards of the Coast. Those of you who have heard otherwise, it's not true. They still have some stock available. But if we look at the items that have sold out and they're starting to age, Bloomburrow, 151. Final Fantasy, over 200. Edge of Eternities, which we just got a decent-sized reprint, back up over 130. I mean, some of this doesn't include shipping. The market price always lags here. Secrets of Strixhaven, 140. We did not get the standard, maybe standard's not the right word, but what we've gotten for the last 5 sets, we've gotten a second wave of play boxes. About 2 weeks post-release, we did not get that for Strixhaven, which tells me it probably came in the initial release because there was so much demand for the product. I'm guessing there's none of this coming anytime soon. Could be totally wrong. But with the boxes north of 140, they're just going to run from here. The sell-through is through the roof. There's not a whole lot of supply. Magic's, again, they have a self-inflicted wound, again, in my opinion, where their supply chain's fucked. And all it's doing is making their product go up and making people want it more. So they are going to be successful in spite of themselves, even though, again, their bottom line may not get there. Fucking arrow key. Marvel, 137. These boxes should be closer to $150. Whether they dump, they don't dump. I tend to think they're not going to dump. But again, you never know. Lorwyn Eclipsed, they're gone from distribution. They hit us with a massive, massive second wave that the market couldn't absorb. It's now gone. These are going to start to move up. Foundations passing Bloomburrow was surprising, but the Foundations reprint was lighter than Bloomburrow. Innistrad Remastered being up here is insane. The fact that these are 225 is great. MH3, 255. This is a fucking Spanish box. I hate the fact that they allow you to post non-standard SKUs in here. 255. These are gone everywhere except for one distributor at this point, who I keep buying. These boxes are going to look exactly like Commander Masters. 6 months from now, they're probably going to be pushing $400. It just is what it is. Duskborn 140. This is a little disappointing. I thought this would be a little bit higher. Turtles 105. This is just supply glut. Avatar, just it is what it is, and there's still too much of that. But with a lot of the turtle SKUs, and I don't know if you guys have seen, there's still a good amount of boxes here, and the sell-through isn't great. But once these dry up in a month or 2 months, these boxes are going to be pushing $150. Like, there's not a whole lot of space between 140 and all these broke-ass Timmy stores that are trying to dump the shit out of this stuff. So Just saying. Turtles collector boxes. Let's look at these real quick because these were pushing 460. Let's see. I don't know if this is a real account or not. This one may or may not be. But after these two shady accounts, you're at 470. And there are 113 available. There were less than this last night. I wonder if somebody, yeah. Vegas singles listed 25. But yeah, I mean, if you look at the 128 sold in the last month. Now, granted, we have a big spike here for the sale, but even if you take those out, you have 2 months of supply. And these things are zooming. Now they are still available at distribution in Europe and in Mexico. They're obviously long sold out here. So I would imagine more of this is going to make it into the US at some point. We'll see what happens. So moving on. One Piece is in a little bit of a weird spot. So for those of you who don't know, OP16, Wave 1 and Wave 2 both kind of came at the same time, which is something we haven't seen recently, which tells me they probably finished the OP16 print run up a little bit early so they could put the foot on the gas for OP17. I'll mention this for the umpteenth time. The anniversary sets get at least twice the print run of the regular sets. And given the fact that PhD and Southern are now carrying the game, I'm guessing it's like 2.5 times. I would not pre-order OP17. The risk reward just doesn't make sense to me. OP14 here, this is a mature product. Still sitting at $240. It's basically flat from release, from here to here. Volume's decent, 6,500 boxes. They're going to move up, but paying market for One Piece, unless you want to rip the boxes, whatever, I just don't see a whole lot of upside because we are going to see more and more supply of this product coming out. And with more sets, there's just more total market for funds to have to sink into the game to really move the needle. So moving on, Fusion World, $500 for FB09. This was the last set before things got a little warm. If we go to FB10, which is a set that comes out, I believe, next week, the boxes are pushing $250, $260, $280. Yeah, I mean, you're $260, and they're sales. 200 boxes sold. So I would pay attention to this. Now, when FB11 comes out, that's when we're going to find out whether, if everything is super heavily allocated, meaning Bandai just draws the line in the sand and says that enough is enough, or if they're just going to dump product, which I don't think they're going to do. I think the old school money whores are all gone. Now you have a bunch of younger guys who actually understand how the game's played. So that's good. But it's worth paying attention to. Let's go to this real quick before we go to some crazy shit. Gundam Steel Requiem. So this box has now sold 4,057 boxes. And again, there's a 5,500 rule that I've mentioned to you guys multiple times with Bandai. Once you get to that point, it gets capped out. Let's look at the cases. There have been 188 cases sold. So you are north of 6,000 boxes of Steel Requiem. These boxes are going to be pushing $150 very, very quickly, very, very soon. If you don't buy in soon, you are going to miss out. The sell-through on this is absolutely astronomical. And it doesn't take that many boxes to get to 150. Moving on, because I do want to mention this, Phantom Aria. The sell-through on these sets continues to increase set after set on TCG Player. Look at this guy here. Just under 4,000 boxes. So we're only 250 boxes less than GDO3. And the boxes here, you're under $100. These boxes are dirt cheap. They are going to move very, very quickly because there is, I Again, 37, almost 3,800 there. And then we look at the cases. The cases are still reasonably expensive. 177 cases. So you're looking at almost 2,400 boxes on top of the 2,800 or the 3,800 we just saw. I mean, that's 6,000 boxes. And this set has only been out for a couple months. Gundam is about to zoom. It's about to go parabolic. You need to pay attention. And then the last item here, I do want to touch about Eternal Nexus. I think this is FB01. EB01. As people dump this product, you need to buy it. There is so little of this shit out there. There's 25% or less compared to what there is for the rest of the Gundam sets. I'm waiting for all these broke ass Timmy stores to lower the price to like 1,500, and I will probably buy them all. The average store got allocated 2 cases of this. Stores that have been running organized play. There's none of it out there. There's no second wave. There's not much coming. So moving on to Redemption. Disney Lorcana. As much as I've shit on this game, it has come back to life. Wilds Unknown booster boxes are $215. Whispers in the Well are $175. Winter Spell are $175. Fabled's obviously through the roof. But then you go back, all these garbage sets. Reign of Jafar is pushing over $100. Everything's pushing over $100. So I don't know what's going on. In my opinion, it is certainly not. It certainly has nothing to do with the supply. $170 with broke ass minted TCG who always undercuts the market. These guys do too. Vakashan. This is funny. You got a bunch of broke ass Timmy stores undercutting the market. This, in my opinion, is not a supply story. They haven't cut the supply. I think now that you have some singles that are worth money, and we'll just look at this set. This is like the first set after Fable. That's not great. You're looking at cards that are selling for over $2,000, which wasn't a thing before. So it's worth paying attention to. Attack of the Vines. It's going to come out in June. If the box releases at like $150, watch out, because now that's a trend. That's 2 sets in a row that have opened high and stayed high, and it has dragged the 2 or 3 sets behind it along for the ride. If you want a dumpster dive, the $90 boxes from the older sets, you can. The singles aren't as good. The chase isn't as good. But a rising tide does lift all boats. And if you like Disney, first of all, you're kind of weird if you're an adult, but there's value here now. So moving on. I want to talk about Weiss, because there was some dumbass in the comment section that's like, oh, I thought Nikki was going to $100. It's like, well, you don't just snap your fingers and the shit goes to $100 when it's sitting at $75 and the cost was $40 in a year. Not too fucking bad. So Azure Lane, I want to talk about this just because this Everything Good store, these guys are fucking stupid. The second you put this many boxes up for sale, you're just going to impair yourself. List 24 boxes at a time, and when they get sold, list another 24. Be smart. MVP does it all the time, because the second that you list this here, people are not going to buy the item because they know the product isn't going to go up for a long time. These guys are fucking idiots. That being said, the boxes are $68, and they came out at $65. We're right around all-time highs. It's working. Here's Nikki. First of all, TCG player. I know you guys watch the videos. Can you please move the fucking reprint lines to the reprint, the second edition SKU? Again, the same fucking clown. Everything Goods. It belongs in the reprint, not in here. All it does is fuck your platform up. It's not that difficult. But again, $74.95. Yes, I'm a little fired up tonight. Dealing with stupid fucking people, looking at stupid fucking shit, it gets you fired up. It is what it is. But yeah, it hasn't gone anywhere in a while, but we did get the reprint, and reprints tend to, kind of put a lid on things for a little bit. And then you got Shushu here, 1784, sold like 5 boxes in the last year. But anyway, let's move on. Union Arena. I highly recommend you guys pay attention to this. So the set after Sakamoto, I think it's 100 years or Reincarnated or something, they have gone to brick and mortar restricted. It was not this way before. Any online seller with a backpack and $3 could buy boxes of this, and it absolutely annihilated the market price. What we're seeing now is Evangelion came out. It was a little bit tighter, 130. I can't even pronounce this. Kagurabachi, whatever the fuck it is. Same situation. It came out. Not a whole lot of people ordered it. Yeah. So here's the set just came out, $76. The shit's going through the roof because now all the broke ass Timmy backpack sellers can't buy the shit. Solo leveling speaks for itself. Quite honestly, I don't know why this isn't higher. I know we got a reprint here. I wonder if half these aren't. Yeah. Oh, that's Japanese. So that's interesting. But with 100 boxes listed, 220 in the line. I mean, these are going to be $400 boxes. It's just a matter of time. So you need to pay attention to this stuff. The game has changed, and it's changed for the better, quite honestly. Nikki boxes. These things were overprinted, and they were hot garbage. When this set came out, it went straight down, and it was sub-distro cost for the longest time, and it started to move up. And then Distro's like, oh, yeah, surprise. We got more product from Bandai because they printed fucking 2 waves of this shit. It's gotten eaten up, and it's starting to disappear. I mean, God forbid, there's a Nikki set coming out in November with serialized cards and autographs on the cards. That's brick and mortar only. Holy shit, dude. These boxes are going to be $100 day one, and they're probably going to go nowhere but up. It's going to be interesting to see if we get allocated or not. Final Fantasy TCG. The only reason I threw this in here is because I'm about to shit all over LSS and Flesh and Blood for their burning their fucking game to the ground. Dreamlike Oceans. This is the most recent set. Distro price on this was like $52. Now it was a little bit higher than normal, but look at the sell-through. Even in 1 month, it's a little bit lighter, but it's performing. There's margin in the product. This is a substantial amount higher than what distribution price is. Now, this is print to demand. So the demand of each one of these sets kind of ebbs and flows a little bit. So, but again, Final Fantasy TCG, who nobody talks about, Square Enix doesn't even fucking mention it. I saw their booth at Toy Fair. They had like a little box in the corner, and everybody was like sitting in the back giggling to themselves. Didn't even want to come out and talk to anybody. I don't know if they were that embarrassed or they were just trying to sell statues of fucking Final Fantasy shit from all the different games. But like, guys, you have a good game. You have quality product. How about you fucking talk about it? Speaking of, this is probably the best news I got today as it relates to Riftbound. And again, the most positive news. So you guys, if you've been watching, I've shit on these guys because they've shit on their own fucking game. They hit the reprint button too many times, and now it's kicking them in the balls to the point where when they're running raffles and saying, hey, guys, I got you free money. You can get a box at retail. And they hit reprint to the point where Spirit Fortune Unleashed was trading below retail. They had a massive amount of folks that wanted to cancel their orders. So they won the lottery and said, nah, I'm cool. Your product's fucking garbage. They needed to stop hitting the print button. What I found out today, and this is, kudos to these guys. If this is true, I haven't confirmed it across all distributors, but it looks like set 4, Vendetta, I think it's called. The print runs, the purchase orders to distribution have been cut by about a third. So there's going to be less product going to distribution. Now, how that works with waves 2, 3, and 4, it doesn't matter because there is so much organic demand and there's a very healthy player base, that product's going to get eaten up and the boxes are going to go where they should be going, reasonably north of MSRP, retail, whatever you want to call it. So if this was intentional, good job, guys. You golf clap. You didn't fuck it up. And that was a reasonably quick turnaround. So maybe they realized before the damage was done that, oh shit, they're going to do some damage here, and they pivoted, or most likely they just held a bunch of product back and they will ship it as a second wave at some point in the future. Again, it doesn't matter how much you print. It matters how much goes to distribution and the perception of scarcity. Perception is reality. It's just like the real world. You could be sitting on 7 million boxes. If you send 50,000 boxes to distro and people are dying for it, you win. It's really that simple. And if you're a player and you don't like the cost of TCGs, play fucking Uno, because TCGs cost money. Don't be an asshole. So moving on. The shittiest game on the planet. I still have to watch the Rudy video. I guess he was talking a little negative about it, which was interesting. Normally he just pumps shit out of it. I've been saying this for months now. They treat their own player base like shit. They have no idea how to create value long-term in booster boxes. They have driven every single collector investor away. Compendium of Wraith, which was an interesting product in concept, but the execution was an abject disaster. These boxes were anywhere between $83 and $89 from distribution. As you can see right now, the price on TCG Player, minus fees and shipping, you are losing money. This is the newest set, next to the one that comes out, I think next week, maybe it came out last week, I don't know. But this was their premium product, and it's a bag of shit. I mean, look at that. Now, granted, they sold 246 cases, which is good. Let's look at this dog. So this is Omens. This is the new set. Now, distro price on this is 70, 72. So there's a little bit of profit, not a whole lot. I mean, I guess after fees, you're already losing money. And these guys have their communist map policy where if they see you selling, they'll like suspend your gem account or send you a nasty email. What's the guy's name? Pablo or something like that. I saw some of the emails. You guys should be fucking embarrassed. Make a product that's not dog shit, and then people won't have to dump it. You sold 87 cases for a brand new product. You know who sells 87? Fucking MetaZoo. The new MetaZoo that's long dead sold as much product as you guys did. It's fucking embarrassing how pathetically bad the market's accepting a product, because there's no value going forward. You ban all the good cards. And when you're hyper competitive, and again, I'll equate it to an MMO. The most competitive guilds in MMO, whether it be, we'll go old school, we'll go EverQuest, we could do World of Warcraft. I don't even know what the new ones are today. You're playing that game the majority of your day. You have to be competitive. And people generally have life events where it's like, hey, I got a job. I graduated college. I'm going to college. I can't do this anymore. But if I can't play leisurely, then I'm just not going to play it at all. And that's the problem with the game. There is no type of game and really no population of this that's not hardcore competitive. So people burn out and people leave. And it alienates 98% of the population because the game's fun. I'd love to fuck around and play a game, a non-serious game, just to have fun. But that doesn't exist because all the hyper-competitive folks that the company's fostered, they drive everybody away. Because again, it's like with Magic, like Commander games. And people just fuck around for 3 hours playing Commander games. Now, I would never do that because I don't have 3 hours, but you can't do it with this. And the most frustrating thing is the company beat the hard game. They have a large player base. The problem is the easy part. Keep it short printed. Put chase in. Don't ban the fucking cards of value, you fucking idiots. They're getting that piece wrong. And in the United States, and I know it's communist New Zealand, it's a different world. You call it socialist if you want, whatever. People want free shit. They want the government to give people free shit. That's not the way it works in the US. No, people don't. I mean, look, the players, generally speaking, don't have a lot of money. They don't buy cards because people that spend a lot of time playing TCGs, they could be spending that time with their families. They could be spending their time on careers, making more money. The collectors and the investors are what drives the game's value. Players are nice to have. It raises that floor on sets, but you can't sustain a game without collectors, without investors. And Flesh and Blood has failed horribly. The game's dead. I mean, for Omens, they even cut the purchase orders by like 20% to distribution, and it doesn't matter because there's no bid. This is like the 2007, 2008 financial crisis where people have mortgage-backed securities, private label. There's no bid because people don't know what's in it. There's no bid on this, so it doesn't matter how much you lower the price. Nobody wants the shit because they don't feel like they're getting value for their cards. And it is what it is. You guys killed the game. I don't know what to tell you. So anyway, there's a lot of positive with all the games out there, except for this. But quite honestly, these guys have scumbagged so many folks for being critical. They really do fucking deserve it. So anyway, guys, like the video, subscribe to the channel, enjoy the drama, and have a good night.